Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in just about a minute. We're going to give folks another minute or two to enter the waiting room, and then we'll get started. But thanks for joining us today. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. A couple people still might join us. Welcome, Latanya. Since we're kind of a small group today and you're on camera, do you mind unmuting yourself and telling us where you're calling in from today and what program you might be interested in? And then I'll do some introductions of us as well. Latanya, can you unmute yourself? Oh, okay. Now you're off camera. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce us. My name is Sheila Gold. I'm the Executive Director of Admissions for the Tulane School of Professional Advancement, and I'm joined by several of my colleagues today. Kelly McClure, who is the Director of the program. Hold on.
Hi, and it looks like Latanya cannot hear you, Sheila.
Interesting. I am, but you can hear me, correct, Kelly?
I can.
Okay. So I am, Anne, do you mind putting in the chats to Latanya to unmute herself? I'm wondering if she's like overall muted. Maybe if she could put herself back on camera. I think you may have your volume muted. I'm wondering if she could also turn her camera back on. Okay, but we can't hear you. Is there a way, Anne, that you can unmute Latanya? Is there like a participant unmute? I wonder if there's a way that we.
Yes, I am trying to do that.
Okay, I'm trying to ask her to unmute from my end. Latanya, can you hear us? Yes. Okay, can you like say hello and introduce yourself so that we can see if we can hear you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yay! We can.
It was me. It was on. So I am a teacher. I teach math and I'm in class. My computer was still hooked to the Promethean board, so I couldn't hear.
I hear you. Okay.
Latanya, this is Kelly McClure. Where are you teaching?
I'm at Eleanor McMain.
Oh, good.
Oh, awesome.
I'm at McMain. I teach Algebra 1, 9th grade Algebra 1.
Oh, bless
Amazing.
you.
Terrific.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yes, it is. I bet it is. It was hard for me as a student.
Oh, yes.
Probably because I didn't have you as a teacher. Okay, so if you don't mind, Latanya, just keeping your settings like this, and we'll just have like a conversation. Okay. So I'm Sheila Gold. I'm the Executive Director of Admissions. You just heard from Kelly McClure, who is the Program Director for our Teacher Prep Program. Brittany Yandel is the Academic Advisor for this program. And then driving the slides behind the scenes is our colleague Ann Conlon. So okay. Ann will be moving us through. So at any point, Latanya, since it's such a small group, if you have any questions, just jump in and ask.
Okay.
So I just want to tell you a little bit about the School of Professional Advancement. So our teacher preparation program is housed in the School of Professional Advancement at Tulane, which is one of the smaller schools within the larger university. Tulane itself, as a university, was founded in 1834 as a medical school, as the Medical School College of Louisiana. And it was really in response to the yellow fever epidemic. We wanted to create some doctors in this area to help our community. Really strange. We're in the middle of another pandemic, but relevant today like we were back then, unfortunately, for that reason. But pretty shortly thereafter, almost 50 years thereafter, the School of Professional Advancement was founded. It had a different name, but essentially it was founded as a small school to do professional training for working professionals within New Orleans. And we're still doing that today. It's had some different names. It's had some different administrators, but for over 130 years, Tulane has really been committed to training professionals in New Orleans. It's what we do every day. So that's what makes our part of the school special, if you ask me. So, and you kind of did ask me by showing up. So I'll talk all about that because I find it exciting. So as part of our mission to reach out to working professionals, we started doing online teaching way before COVID-19. We've been doing it for several years now, and we're really good at it. And what, as an educator, you'll understand this. What makes us so good at online learning is that we actually have instructional designers on staff. And educators know this better than some other fields that we work with. These are educators whose entire focus is to figure out how to translate really quality education from the classroom where students sit in front of you, like you're doing at McMain, to the online curriculum. And so our online programs, and Kelly and Brittany will tell you more about it, how that looks for teacher prep. They're engaging, they're interactive, they're challenging, they have opportunities to create relationships. That's really unique in the online space, and we've become experts in that field. We're going to talk a little bit today about our program and our faculty and how they are specifically experts for the teacher prep program. Brittany will talk a little bit about our student support. It's the commitment that we make to our students, that we're not only committed to getting you into our program, we're committed to having you successfully complete our program. And so that's an important message that I, as the admissions director, want all of our students to know. We don't want just to get you in. We want to get you out with the degree that you're choosing to pursue. We talk a little bit about how we're affordable. We're priced a little bit differently than the rest of the university. We do that on purpose. That's part of our commitment to the New Orleans community. And then, of course, the value of a Tulane degree. So we'll talk about all those things today. And just a little bit more to touch on the online learning. So when we create online classes, our students have access to the information at all times. Like I said, a lot of the way that our curriculum is transmitted to students is done in a way that's supposed to be engaging, informative, and interactive. So you're not just looking at like PowerPoint slides. There are discussion boards that allow for opportunities to collaborate with classmates. You will create relationships. You will actually meet your classmates as if you were sitting in a classroom shoulder to shoulder. And you'll have opportunities for connections with really diverse students and have opportunities for online communication. So you're going to find that you're building relationships and creating colleagues, which is an important piece of any sort of educational experience. And then you will have monthly online meetings in this kind of format where you kind of dial in and look at each other in the boxes, the Brady Bunch boxes, like I call them, with not only faculty, but also guest speakers. So you'll be exposed to lots of experts in this field and get to interact with them as well. So just some data, because, we like data in the education world. We have done this online program. We have had over 1,300 students have completed close to 13,000 hours of online instruction. That's how we know that we know what we're doing, and we get better and better and better each time. But 13,000 hours is a lot of opportunity to get better. At SOPA specifically, we have 8 master's degrees, 11 certificates, 4 postgraduate baccalaureate certificates, which is what you're learning about, and over 300 online courses, all specifically developed to be transmitted online. Right? So they're not just like classroom courses that we threw online. They are online, developed by our instructional designers. And we specifically work with our faculty to teach them how to teach online, which, you know, as a high school teacher, like that's a whole different level of training. And so our students feel that
So
they're being—
I have, what types of graduate degrees you have? Because I have a master's degree and I'm all but dissertation with a doctorate.
Oh boy.
What graduate certificates do you guys have?
So
Here's the reason why I'm here. Let me just tell you.
no,
The reason why I'm here is because I'm teaching. So I'm retired military. Teaching is my second career. But I'm not certified, which is why I'm teaching at a charter school.
Yep.
And I literally just got off of a call, which is why I was late to this one, with the HR department under Inspire NOLA, because that's McMain is under Inspire NOLA. And she was talking to me about getting certified. And we were talking about the options or whatever. So then she was saying how the state is looking at only starting to go to a plan where they're only giving students credit for courses that are being taught by certified teachers. So you should have probably an influx of teachers now looking into your programs. And I'm also I have to report back to her about this Tulane program so they can add it to their repertoire.
Awesome.
So when they're calling, she can say, hey, Tulane has a program that's available as well.
That's awesome. I'm going to kick this over to Kelly because this is, you know, the certification is her area expertise.
Okay.
But I do want to say from an admissions perspective, we have a 20% discounts for military vets. So when we talk,
cool.
when we talk about tuition, I also want you to hear that we have, what I'm telling you, you'll get a 20% discount on top of.
Okay,
so
thank you.
That's part of our commitment. SOAP is specifically the School of Professional Advancement's commitment to our New Orleans community is that we love our veterans. So keep that in mind. So that's our thank you for serving our country. But I'm gonna
thank you.
Now, well, listen, thank you. So I'm gonna zip it now and let Kelly talk to you a little bit more about the curriculum.
Okay.
I can unmute, of course.
Oh.
LaTanya, I think given what you've said, I can go through these other pieces a little more quickly because you have a very specific situation. And it's so interesting because I just had a very close friend of mine, I mean, almost identical to your situation. She has 2 masters. She already has a doctorate in anthropology. She wants to come back and get SPED certification, but she doesn't have an original sort of teaching certification.
Correct.
So sort of same boat, right?
Yes.
And, you know, technically could be teaching in schools in New Orleans. You don't have to be certified, you don't have to be, but more and more the schools are turning towards like, we need our teachers to be certified.
Yes.
And by the way, Inspire NOLA schools are like the cream of the crop, like terrific.
And so they're trying to stay there because like 75% as a math teacher, and we like numbers, 75% of the Inspire NOLA staff is not certified. So we're kind of like doing it. We're meeting the minimum requirements for state testing, but none of us are certified. So it would be crazy,
right,
for the state to do that and say, hey, we're only giving the students credit if they're being taught by a certified teacher. They'll lose more than half their staff.
Yeah, which we can ill afford, not only in just citywide, right?
Right.
Like,
Period.
so that's So I've been on the job about a month here, LaTanya. So, you know, so I had this same question, like, oh, this is kind of a dire situation. So we're going to show you here, we already have teaching certifications, pretty straightforward, like you already know. We have an early childhood pre-K to 3 certification program. We have a secondary, which is for middle school and for high school. We are working on now getting one that goes from the 1st through 5th grade. So that's in the works, but we don't have that yet. So that's all you need to know there. Second slide will show you that we also have some add-on opportunities. We're kicking those off this summer. The first one will be a special ed add-on certificate. That's going to be 6 courses, so that any teacher that already has their cert can get this add-on certification for special education. Or you can also do it starting this summer with an we're going to call it probably Teaching English Learners add-on certification, and it's going to be 4 courses, and you can actually get it done over the course of a summer. And it sounds like you're the kind of person that's probably going to school for the rest of your life, so we'll probably see you somewhere. Okay, so next slide there, so that I can get to the part. So we are trying to set it up so there's this continuum, and that's what this big, beautiful graphic is showing you, that we are, the undergrads, the aspiring teachers, and you yourself, like practicing teacher to leaders, making sure that we're addressing this entire continuum, right? And so I think here is where, or maybe it's on the next slide, if you could move us there, and these pipelines. And so here, I don't think we have a special place carved out. But in diving into this question that is specifically related to your situation, from what I understand from my conversations yesterday, and I will loop back and nail it down specifically, the thing we would want to do with you is get your transcripts together. You obviously have so much coursework already under your belt, right? Whether undergrad, the master's, and your everything but the dissertation. We would sit down with you in your transcript, and we would look at, if you wanted to continue and say mathematics, right? And we would look at, I'm not sure what your master's is in, or your
my
doctoral.
master's. So I'm like this all together, 3 different degrees, right?
Awesome.
So my bachelor's is in computer science with a minor in math, which is how Inspire NOLA was able to hire me to teach math. My master's degree is in management with a concentration in human resources, because I was a human resources officer on active duty in the Navy. And my coursework in the doctorate was in education, because I was pursuing an education doctorate with a concentration in technology, technical learning. So
fantastic.
Programming the systems that we use for the online learning.
So, Brittany and Sheila, if you know better than I do on this topic, but my thinking is there's probably 6 or 7 courses that you would need to look at that you may already have some or nearly most of, sort of the content that you've taken already meets the requirements of, and whether that's in sort of the mathematical content or the pedagogical sort of teaching stuff that you've already taken. And so we would do sort of a correspondence between what are the required courses here at Tulane versus what you've already had. And then you'd essentially get, what are the technical terms here? Is it an
like
exemption?
a hybrid type path to certification?
Yeah, but we would give you credit essentially for the courses
credit for the courses that that compare.
Higher learning is what we call
credit for the courses that compare.
Yeah,
and so then
we may have a slide on that, Kelly, that we might be able to look at a little bit.
Okay, and so then it would be a matter of taking the courses that you would still need to fulfill. You would, I would imagine, do. Now we can go to the next slide, which is on the internship. I believe, and yes, so the requirements are in taking, making sure that you have those 27 hours of the coursework. So we, sort of been looking at across those transcripts, making sure that you have the sufficient amount and the right coursework. And then the field hours, of which, you're already a practicing teacher. So we, take that into account. And then the year-long residency, of which we have the practitioner residency. So you're already a practitioner, and so you get the credit for doing that in your practice. And so you get observed by faculty, and you get the feedback loops and those sorts of things. So making sense so far?
Yes.
Right. So in other words, probably not surprising, you're already well on your way. And so we can just help you sort of meet all of the requirements that you need to make things official and certified. I believe there's one more slide to show you. Oh, and just sort of like at the bedrock, we probably should have started here. But, you know, sort of at the bedrock of all of, you know, our programs, and whether it's sort of in the classroom with regard to the content of mathematics or the pedagogical approaches of our teaching practices, or just sort of the mindsets that are undergirding all of the like skills and knowledge that we're trying to impart with our teacher candidates. I would say that there is, you know, the major threads here outlined are, of course, around designing and planning instruction, being very mindful of careful planning around the learning environment, looking at instruction, professional responsibility and leadership, and of course, diversity, equity, and inclusion are all sort of part and parcel of our program and inform every single one of the courses and field experiences that we have. You see our mission and our vision here at the bottom. And so that's sort of the programmatic, and I know that was a little spotty, but I wanted to make it sort of resonate for you. And do you have any questions about the program side of things before we move to, I think, Sheila's piece?
No, I don't have any questions, but what I would like to do when this is over, if I could give you guys Inspire NOLA's contact person, Jessica Perry, her information, because this would be a good thing to do for all of Inspire NOLA. Like I said, most of our teachers are not certified. So within this year, we're going to be looking for avenues that are not going to take 2 years, you know, for us to get certified. So this would be a good thing, because right now what they're pushing for quick certification, they're pushing the iTeach program or certification path. And I think this is just a better, more credible path for certification.
So we could do, I appreciate that, Latanya, and we will definitely share contact information. And actually at the end of this, my email is going to be up and we can give you Kelly's and all that. But we could do like a webinar like this for any of your teachers that would.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. You guys can do, like, we can have on a professional development day for those who are interested, and you can hit everybody at once.
So Kelly, at the end of this, my information is going to be up. So I'll just have Latanya email me and then I'll spread it to you and Brittany.
But what I'll do is I can just put Jessica's information in the chat.
That sounds good too, because I'll be really blunt with you, Latanya. Like, one of my first orders of business is reaching out and really working on our community partnerships with the CMOs, and Inspire NOLA is at the top of my list.
Right, and I'll put it in the chat right now. I literally just got off the phone with her.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
This worked out great.
Yes, it did.
Definitely.
She's already moving up to the top of the class.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I like that ninja move of Latanya, of how you got on this call and sort of edged everybody else out off of the call so that you could sort of be front and center. Do you have family that are also in schools by chance?
That teach in schools? Well, I have a cousin, but she's here at McMain with me. We don't look alike though. She's lighter than I am. Okay. Are you asking because you've seen somebody keeps saying,
I worked with an Alexander over at when it was McDonough 15, but it's now Kip Morial. And so
no, I don't have, not with the last names Alexander's. But no, he's at LSU. Never mind. All right, moving on. Sorry, I have wrong school.
Small town, we're all related somehow.
I know, that's what I'm just like, wait, hold on. Let me think about it. No, wrong school.
Okay, so do you want to just briefly talk, Koo, about your faculty for a second, Kelly, before I take my piece?
Sure. This is three members of our faculty kind of chosen at random. I'm not really sure why, but so meet three of them. Chris is fairly new to the faculty. He does our math, literacy, and STEM
Okay.
generally. We have a science faculty member. Two of our literacy folks are represented here. We also have social studies. And then a slew of adjunct professors who have been with us. We also have an assessment and accreditation coordinator on staff with us who also teaches. And so meet the faculty. And I'm the newest member of the faculty, though I won't teach until this
Cool.
summer.
Okay.
Thanks for the number.
All right, so I'll talk a little bit about, or Brittany, is this you? Do you want to talk about this?
Sure, I can. Whatever works.
So meet Brittany. She's our senior academic advisor.
Hi, Latasha.
Hi, Brittany. How you doing?
Yeah, so I work with all of the students in all of the teacher prep programs just to make sure they're on track and can register for classes, kind of handle the nitty-gritty details. But okay, so flexibility, our program is very flexible. We are not catered to, but we take into consideration that a lot of our students are adult learners who are working during the day and maybe taking classes in the late afternoon or evening. So we do offer a lot of classes in the late afternoon, evening, a lot of online classes. So a lot of opportunities to get the classes in despite also being at work full time. With field placement, you're already a full-time teacher. So that doesn't really relate to you because we don't really need to place you anywhere. But as Kelly mentioned earlier, you will get all of your hours that are required for education through where you are teaching currently. So no extra hours on your side. I'm not very experienced with the accreditation side, so I'm not sure if Kelly, you wanted to speak more to that, to the TE accreditation.
Not specifically, to be honest.
Yeah,
We're accredited.
we're accredited.
Yes, I should have said it in my presentation. We're accredited, so, and you know, Tulane sort of recognized.
Right,
as,
definitely.
you know, we're official
One of the top,
wherever you
yes.
go.
So we do have a praxis requirement. Have you completed praxis already? Did we talk about that earlier?
I have not, and that's why I'm looking for a program, because I have not done anything on the road to becoming what I call a real teacher. I just have the degrees in education, and this is my 5th year. This is my 5th year in the classroom.
Okay,
So
guys.
she wouldn't have to take the first praxis, right?
Yeah, if you've taken the ACT and you got a 22 or above, you will be waived from the first praxis. So we would
I
just.
think even if you have a master's degree, you were also.
Oh, that is right. I forgot that you had a
Okay.
master's degree as well. Yeah, so you are waived for praxis 1. So then you'll just have to focus on
Do the core, the content one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm gonna scoot on to the next slide. There we go. Here's my main slide. So student support and success. We have academic advisors for every program that we have at SOPA. We are assigned to the students to make sure that you are registering for the correct classes. If you have any, basically we triage any concerns that you might have. So if you're not really sure who to talk to, if you've got a question or concern, you can come to your advisor first and we'll put you in contact with the resources that you need or the people that you need to talk to. We have expert faculty with industry experience. Most of our faculty have been have experience in the classroom, decades, years. So very experienced, a lot of networking opportunities within the faculty as well. So definitely get to know your faculty members. We also have a career advisor. So if you need help building a resume, doing mock interviews, having a cover letter looked at, we do have a specific counselor for that, and her name is Cynthia Washington. She can meet with students via Zoom right now. So if you need anything career-wise, she is a great resource. And speaking of networking, once you graduate from Tulane, once you have a Tulane degree, you are automatically put into the Tulane Alumni Network, which is huge. So if you are, say you're looking to move across the country and you're looking for a job in Washington, you can log on to that alumni network, job opportunities, people who are in that network that you might be able to reach out to get connected with jobs. So really great resources as a Tulane alum.
Okay.
All right, I will jump on in here. So this is a little what I was saying, is that we offer, so part of our commitment, so SOAP is a little bit different than the rest of the smaller colleges at Tulane. We are purposely committed to the New Orleans community, as opposed to, national students, although we do have students from all over, but we make that commitment on purpose. And so active duty and veterans are one of the areas that we like to say thank you and encourage to come to our school. It increases our diversity, and it also, we have degrees that are specifically interesting to those students. So you are right there, Latanya. You're sort of a perfect example. So, full-time teachers. So you kind of fall in two categories, although unfortunately you can't stack up the
Right, just one.
I wish I could say you could, but you can't. But you're definitely going to do that. And there's no, you really just fill out a form. Like that's all you do. So every semester you submit your discount form. So you will qualify for that. So
and
that
Inspire NOLA, they do reimbursement. They do tuition reimbursement.
Oh, that is so great. Okay.
Yes.
So
That's amazing.
When we set up our special webinar like this for your Inspire NOLA colleagues, we'll make sure to add that in. That'll be part of what we talk about, because that's great.
Yes.
So that, is helpful all the way around. So anyway, we wanted to share that. It's right here on the slide. So just a little bit about our program. Even though it's a post-baccalaureate program, it's actually undergraduate classes. They're technically qualify as undergraduate classes. So our price per credit hour is $524 per credit hour. And that we have very, very few fees associated. So unlike I never call anybody out, but there are some institutions in town that have low tuition rates, but when you add on their fees, it almost doubles. That is
technology fee, the access fee, the book fees, and trust me, I know.
There is a little bit of fees, but it's like an extra $150 or something per semester. It's not like
one-time fee. Yeah, not a separate.
It's one time per, exactly. So we like to point that out. We do offer financial aid for students who need financial aid, and many of our students do. So we have folks in-house that will help start that process for any students who are having trouble navigating that. And then, of course, there are people fully staffed full-time in our financial aid office. So there's multiple ways to give students support. And then, of course, the types of aid are the Yellow Ribbon Program, which I know as a veteran you're familiar about, 20% discount for active duty and veterans, and then up to 24 credit hours for our credit for prior learning, which is what Kelly was talking about. So essentially what that is sometimes students either in the world that they've been working in or through prior educational experiences have already taken the classes that you have to take in a certain program, or they just know it, right? Because they're already doing it as part of their role. So we have this pathway that if students can demonstrate that they already have the knowledge for a class that they have to take towards their certificate or degree, we will give them that credit. There's certain things that you have to do to sort of prove it, but it's much easier than taking the class. Right. And so you might qualify for that, Latanya. And if so, it's another savings of money, right? Those are classes you don't have to take. And it's also savings of time. So you'll reach your degree or certificate faster. So that's why we put it under aid, because it can save you time and money, which everybody needs more time and more money.
Definitely.
And this is kind of my little slide. So applying is super simple. We do that on purpose. Our application is available on our website. If you see the address, tulane.edu is our website /apply. When you go to our website, you'll see a big button at the top that says apply. You will be using the undergraduate application. That's an important little nuance. Even though you have your undergraduate degree, this lives in the undergraduate world. So open up.
I'm okay with that.
I know it's the biggest piece of information that I like to tell people because they always pick the graduate application. If you do by mistake, we can fix it. So nothing's unfixable. But my takeaway is use the undergraduate application. Your program of interest is going to be teacher prep. So just pick that. There is a $40 application fee that should get automatically waived because you attended this webinar. If for some reason it doesn't, email me. We can waive it on the back end. It takes about half of a second. It's
Okay.
like click a waive button. So please don't pay that. You don't have to. You will need to upload an image of your driver's license or a passport, just a current government ID. Just take a picture with your phone and upload it. That's all that is. And then we're going to need your transcript.
Can I do my retired ID since it has a better picture than my driver's license?
As long as it's a current one. It can't be expired.
No, my retired military ID. It's current.
Yeah, please.
It has an expiration date on it. It's
We
current.
like pretty pictures. I get it.
That's why I was like, I want a pretty picture.
Yes, I support that. Absolutely. And then we're going to need transcripts from all the schools that you've gone to. So that seems like it's going to be a little bit of a.
So can I upload the certified to be original copies that I have right now until I order the other ones?
So this is how that works. Yes, 100% you can, and we can admit you with those. And your admission is going to be what we call conditional, and the
Until you get the
conditional
ones
is
from the
put a registration hold on you until we get your official ones.
Okay, so do all of them from all 3 programs? Okay.
Yep, upload them all, and then request that they be sent electronically, and we should get them within 48 hours.
Because I can go to the what's that database? The clearinghouse or whatever. Can I go through the okay?
Yep. Good.
Can you tell that I've applied to so many?
You to work
I'm a
in my,
professional.
like
It's like
literally,
a part-time job.
like the more you're talking, I'm gonna be like, listen, go work with me. So here's the thing. You can get undergraduate, they should all be in clearinghouse, but if it gets tricky through clearinghouse, you can just go to the registrar's office of the
Office and then have them sent. Yeah.
graduated, and they all have an online portal to request transcripts sent. That may actually be the easier way. You choose. So as soon as we get your stuff, we're cool. Now it seems like you may want to start this summer, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I suggest you get your application into us as soon as possible so that we can admit you. And the reason I say this is that if you get admitted and register for classes by May 1, then you get a $200 scholarship just for registering early. That's just $200
cool.
we get to save you or your school.
Free money.
Free money. It's literally free money.
Yes.
And it's just as an incentive for our students to register early. It gives our advisors a little bit of a, breaks up the bottleneck. So not everybody's applying late, and it just gets students like set up for success early. And we try to support that with a little free money incentive.
Okay.
So go ahead and get that in. So don't wait till our application deadline.
No, I'm gonna, as soon as we're done, like I'm gonna go do that as soon as we're done.
So Kelly's contact information is actually on the screen right now. So you should take a little screenshot of that and send any questions to her.
Is that my phone number? Who knew?
That's just the general phone number.
Okay.
Yeah. It is. All right. So I'm going to zip it and see if you have any questions at this point.
No, the only question I would have would be a financial aid question. Do you guys have offer a monthly payment plan type thing?
That really is financial aid. I believe that you can do that. It's through our accounts receivable office. And so we don't handle that. Purposely handle that. They purposely keep financial information
No, I'm okay with that. That was just,
confidential, but
yeah.
I have known students who do that, so I know the answer is
Okay.
yes. Brittany,
Yeah,
let's more to share.
Latanya, the program is called TIP, TIPP. So if you Google Tulane TIP, it should take you to the page, and that's the payment plan option. And I believe you can break it into 3, 4, or 5 months.
Okay, cool.
Accounts receivable, and you also have to set it up before the semester starts. So, if you get your bill
Right.
and try to do it afterwards, they won't.
So that it could be paid for by the time you actually take the classes. Yeah.
Well, you've got to be set up on a plan before classes start. If you are using a payment plan, you've got to be set up on that plan before classes start.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so you've got plenty of time.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm writing down
No, this
Kelly's stuff so that I can send it to Jessica as well.
that's awesome.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, we've given you our knowledge.
And I appreciate it. I receive it.
Good. We've
I
been
receive it.
to you. Now we'll be looking for your application. It's really like a not hard application. I would tell you to kind of get it in as quickly as possible.
I'm literally like, as soon as we're done here, I'm
Great.
going to that site. My next class isn't until 2. I'm on math department is off at 3rd block, and it's 3rd block here. So yeah.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, let us know. I'm hoping we can do another one of these for the rest of your colleagues. That's exciting. Thank you for creating that connection.
That would be, no, I'm telling you guys, that would be awesome, because I think with the discounts that you get, because I saw that you give discounts to teachers.
Yeah.
And with Inspire NOLA doing the tuition reimbursement, they don't, it's like win-win for everybody.
We've been waiting to find each other.
And I definitely like Inspire NOLA is the type of organization that when you guys explain this to them, they're probably gonna have you like create something specifically for Inspire NOLA teachers.
We can do it.
That's what they do.
Do you get a chance to, like, I don't know how long you've been with them, but cross collaborate across schools? Like with
we do
math
that
department?
in the summer. We do it all the time. So our summer preparation before we return, before school opens, is like a 2-week teacher prep thing. And it's like all the high schools together, all the elementary schools together. We start all together as a team at one of the schools in the auditorium. And then we have breakout sessions by content area.
Yeah. I got to see
not only
high
is
school...
it just the math teachers, but it's all algebra teachers across the high school. All
That's what I was...
teachers. Yes.
I saw the high school, the Edna Carr's Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. No, and the trig teacher. Were they teaching trig? I forget.
It depends on, so kind of, sort of.
I forget specifically. I know I saw Algebra 2.
Algebra 2.
The teacher was phenomenal. And I was just completely blown away. It was just like, yeah.
So they prepare us before we go into the classroom under Inspire.
Yeah, I see that.
It's a great organization.
Yeah, it's a great organization for sure. So good for you.
But yeah, I'm definitely I'll call Kelly back and I'll tell her that I'll call her and let her know that you're going to be contacting her, and then I'll send an email and I'll put you on the email. I'll CC you on the email as the point of contact for the program.
Perfect. It's great to meet you, Latanya.
You too, you guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Latanya.
Try out for your application.
I'm going to